again, welcome to Rewire Wednesday. Today, we are going to focus on the rewiring part of the recovery. So, that means we're actually focusing on working with our brains. Monday and Tuesday is a lot about working with our nervous system, which is so important. But body mind is, one pathway, and the other is, mind body. So it works both ways. So as you know, that Wednesday is really about I guess they say top down. And so, but I just want to remind everybody of something that's just so important that sometimes I used to forget, and that it doesn't matter how long we've had symptoms or how intense they feel, and how stuck we might seem. That it's really that your brain is capable of change at any time. And that sometimes, I would just feel like, oh, but I feel like I'm, more stuck than maybe other people, or maybe it's gone on so long for other people. But it's just an important reminder that neuroplasticity means your brain is capable of change anytime. So, healing isn't just about reducing symptoms. It's also really important about changing the patterns that are in the brain. And the good news is that, this is something that we can influence. So we're not powerless here. There's things that we can do. So there's a concept from Dr. Hanscom's work called dynamic healing. And at the core of it is really the idea that your brain isn't fixed. It's constantly changing based on where your attention and how you're responding to things that happen in your experience. This is that neuroplasticity. And it kind of works in two directions. The circuits that you use more get stronger. The circuits that you use less begin to weaken. And so if your system is spending a lot of time in stress or worry, or symptom monitoring, fear, trying to chase, symptoms or looking for answers all the time, those pathways become more developed. But not because anything's wrong, but just because the brain is trying to help you survive. And so, but as you begin to spend more time in safety and presence and connection, like we're doing here, then, and even in small moments of joy and ease and, things that you like doing, you begin to strengthen these different sets of circuits. Aloha. So over time, our brain begins to recognize this. And so regions associated with threat and pain, they begin to calm down. While the areas that are connected to regulation, connection, positive emotion, those become stronger. So it's really cool the way that we can affect our brain just by what we're taking in, by the people around us, by how we're, watching our nervous system. So this applies to emotions, physical symptoms, because the brain processes all of it through these overlapping networks. So here's the part that I really hope that you take in, is that with persistence and repetition, there's often this tipping point where change starts to build on itself. It's so subtle. It's like not working. Whoa, I responded differently. My goodness, that's amazing. I took a breath instead of, reacting. It happens when almost out of the blue by just living and not trying to, okay, now it's time for my, this practice. It's like, it clicked. It's in there. It just becomes less effortful, because the new pathways are becoming more dominant even though, as we always say, we can't really see the connections happening, the neurons firing and rewiring. So there isn't a fixed limit to what our brain can become. We're shaping it every single day, every moment of every single day. So the question really becomes, and this is what we're going to do today, what are you practicing most often? And we're going to do a little journal exercise. So if anybody has any paper, pen, if you don't want to do the journal exercise, sit back and use your brain. You don't need to if you're not feeling like you want to. Some people, it's helpful to get things down on paper. So whatever you feel like doing. We'll do a little writing practice and reflecting practice, and then we'll do a meditation that will kind of bring all this together. Rosemary, do you have a question, or is it your hand is kind of... Okay, just checking. I wasn't sure. It's so close to the screen. I'm like, is she trying to say this? All right, so let's explore some of these things together. So, the first question that I have, and then I really thought was important to ponder, is what percentage of your time do you spend fighting off stress or stressors? Trying to fix, trying to figure things out, trying to control or monitor your symptoms. And it's just kind of an estimate. Just take a few moments, whether you're writing or just thinking about this, coming from a place of non-judgment, kindness towards yourself. It's just, let's get curious about this. How much time do I spend? Okay, and the next question is, what percentage of time is spent in moments of ease, presence, connection, or even small amounts of joy? Or just noticing? We're noticing where our brain is being trained. All right, let's shift for a moment. If your body felt safer, if your mind wasn't constantly pulled into stress or the symptoms, what would you want your life to look like? And this isn't just what you would get rid of. It's what do you want to move toward? If your body felt safer, if your mind wasn't pulled into stress or preoccupied with the symptoms, what would you want your life to look like? What do you want to move toward? What do you want more of? And how would you feel? It's almost like asking what matters most. It's just often important to write that down, because sometimes when we're in the thick of all of this, we forget. I know I did. I got lost in it. Just having to deal with the day to day, the stressors. So I just had to ask myself, what would a small moment of joy look like? Whether it was a cup of coffee in peace or a very short walk, laughing with somebody, or even at that time, just having a moment of feeling okay. This part really matters because our brains need something to move toward. It's like we're looking at the solution, not just the problem. It's so easy to come and just look at the problem, what's going wrong, what situation I'm in, what, things are, what stressors I have. But I love Dr. Hanscom's work because it's about moving toward what you want. And I remember that was just a big thing when I said, what would it look like if I did get better, if I could recover? And when I started imagining that future, it was so different from the one that I was presently in. So I was looking at the solution more than just the problems that I was facing. So let's just take a moment to integrate this experience. Yeah. Right, Dolores. What do we want when, our nervous system is more regulated? What are the goals that we've had that maybe we've thought we've put on hold or that weren't achievable or attainable? It's like, what are those things that, we can think about, move toward, not just something to move away from? So if you want to just take a moment to put down your pen or pencil and get yourself comfortable, and the screen's on or off, we'll do a little meditation. Just seeing how this lands and how our mind and body are able to rewire. So taking a moment to really let this land. It may help to soften your gaze, or you can actually close down your eyes if that feels better. So eliminating any distractions in your space and helping you to go inward. Let's start by taking a slow breath in and a long, easy exhale out. And really just notice that you're here. And recognizing that your brain is already capable of change. And let's see if you can bring to mind one small image from what you just reflected on. Whether it's a feeling or a moment or a version of you, not as something far away, but as something your system can begin to recognize. And just let it gently land in your body. Maybe you feel it in your chest. Maybe it opens just a little bit. Or your abdomen. Maybe there's a little bit of an elastic feeling as you breathe in and out. Just a little more space. Could be in your shoulders or your hips as they begin to really feel as though they don't need to hold so much burden. Just noticing where you feel your own body becoming. And you don't have to make it bigger or anything that doesn't feel genuine. Just let it be enough. And as you stay with it, you might quietly say to yourself, this is something I can move toward. This is safe enough to begin. And let your breath stay easy. Your body supported by the surface below you, holding you and grounding you. And let your attention be soft. Because this is how rewiring happens. Through repetition, through experience, through moments like this, when we imagine what's possible. So even subtle moments or feelings or thoughts matter here. Whether it's a little softening in your forehead, a moment where you see yourself with an inner or slight outer smile. Or you imagine you're something greater than what you perceive as limitations. So what does that look like? Let your creative, curious mind really indulge in that. Explore. Feel. bring that in on each breath. And in each exhale, just letting go of any tension or anything not serving you. And now as you come back, take a moment to notice how you feel, even if it's very subtle. And throughout the week, just keep it simple. Just really notice what you're practicing and where you're heading. Stay in those moments that feel light and joyful and creative. Because what you practice is what grows. Just taking a final breath in, noticing that the breath connects the mind, heart, and body, making us whole. And on an exhale, just opening your eyes and coming back to our space. Namaste.